me a give me a hand signal. What? No, if this falls off, and I don't know this.
Good. We're good. Yeah. I know. I'm right up against it. That's going to be hard to do. I always feel like I'm... Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Super. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, there we go.
Having such
Good morning. Welcome to the First Religious Society Unitarian Universalist here in Newburyport, Massachusetts. My name is Reverend Rebecca Bryan, and I am honored to be the minister of this beloved congregation. I'd like to welcome all of our guests who may be with us for the first time this morning, and also to Gwir Abijar Llewellyn. We were just reminding ourselves how we know each other through Satara, the woman and teacher for me with the harmonium. It is an honor to welcome them here. We had planned on them being with us last winter, and the weather had another plan. And the good news is that gave all of us, certainly me, and I know many of you, a whole year to look forward to this moment. You can read more about this wonderful couple in the order of service. I'd like to move us right into that and share just a few quick announcements. There are blue visitor cards in your pews that if you'd like to stay in touch with us or have us add you to our email list, please fill those out and put them in the offering basket when that comes around. We come together here at FRS-UU, in person and online, committed to love, peace, and justice. Our mission and our invitation to all of you is to come as you are, journey together in love, act with courage, transform our world. Those of you online, you can access this morning's order of service using the link just below the live stream. We also have large print orders of service and large print hymnals. Any usher can bring them to you. Please do look at all of the activities listed in your order of service. There are many good things ahead, and I just want to name and lift up how Spirit moves us when we were planning today, next 2 weeks, and other things that have evolved. We would not have necessarily known exactly where we would be at this time, but I know we have the perfect set of services coming for us. Starting with this service, that we may be filled with love and light and remember the one. Next Sunday, we have our beloved animal blessing service here in this sanctuary, that we are one with all creatures. So please come with your creatures who are happy to be with other animals and people, or you can bring a photograph. Also, we invite all of you who are still holding loved animals who have passed on to bring a photograph of those so we can add them to our altar and ritual of remembrance. During the week of the election, we have services both on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, every day at noon and at 7 p.m., led by wonderful colleagues and musicians Nick and Alan Seal. Alan also is holding his contemplative service next Sunday at 8 a.m. Then on the Sunday after Election Day, we have New Members Sunday and Bring a Friend Sunday. It is good to be together.
And we invite you to the call to worship you'll see in your program. This is one of the Shabbads that's in the book that she was referencing, Valley Corps' See No Stranger. And in Gurbani, the Shabbat is called Visamad, which means wondrous or wonderful. And so I'll be reading the plain type, and you will be answering with the Beiraj in the bold type. Wondrous is the sound.
Wondrous is the ancient wisdom.
Wondrous are the creatures.
Wondrous are the varieties.
Wondrous are the forms.
Wondrous are the colors.
Wondrous are the beings.
Who wander around unclothed.
Wondrous is the wind.
Wondrous is the water,
Wondrous is the fire.
which works wonders.
Wondrous is the earth.
Wondrous is the source of creation.
Wondrous are the tastes.
We seek and seize.
Wondrous is union.
Wondrous is separation.
Wondrous is hunger.
Wondrous is satisfaction.
Wondrous is divine praise.
Wondrous is divine adoration.
Wondrous is the wilderness.
Wondrous is the right path.
Wondrous is closeness.
Wondrous is distance.
Wondrous to face the divine, ever present now.
Beholding these wonders, I'm wonderstruck.
O Nanak, those who understand this are blessed.
O Nanak, those who understand this are blessed.
Please join us in saying our chalice lighting words as Samira and Mary light the chalice. The words can be found in your order of service. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest, truth and meaning, the celebration of the life we share together.
Each week, we also light 2 candles of peace that represent 2 places on earth that need peace. We know that there are untold numbers of places on earth that need peace. These 2 we will hold in our hearts through this service and through the week ahead. As I share each location, we will respond in unison by saying peace in 3 languages: peace, salam, shalom. Our first candle this morning is lit for Lewiston, Maine, where on October 25th, 1 year ago, there was the deadliest shooting in Maine's history. We pray for the families of those 18 victims, for all of the 13 who were wounded and survived, for all who live there, and for the countless numbers of families and communities across our country who continue to be victims of unnecessary gun violence. To this we respond, peace, salam, shalom. Our second candle this morning is lit for lands around the world where Hindus, Sikhs, Jains, and Buddhists will be celebrating Diwali starting this Thursday, October 31st. This festival of lights symbolizes the victory of good over evil, knowledge over ignorance, and light over darkness. May peace prevail on earth. To this we respond, peace, salam, shalom. And we light a final candle this morning, as we have been and will do. Though it is little in stature, it is large in intention and in our hearts. For all of the polling stations, for all of the homes, for all of the hearts of everyone in our country and across this world. As we are nearing the presidential election, we do indeed pray for the safety of all people, for the preservation of our lands, and for peace on earth. To this we respond, peace, salam, shalom. Let's rise in body or in spirit and join our voices in our affirmation of faith, followed by the doxology. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. Please be seated.
I'm going to share a reflection, short reflection with you entitled, Having a Seat at the Table, Combating Cultural Conformity. The theme of this month is communication, and I would like to respond to Reverend Rebecca's October 6th sermon that was about knowing oneself is the first step to good communication. For me, art has been my vehicle for learning about the nuances of myself, to sort out and tease out my story, and to understand why I need to bring others to the table. First, let me say this phrase of bringing others to the table I did not come up with. A few years back, I was at a Harvard graduation, and one of the keynote speakers spoke to the graduating class, not about how great they were or how much they had accomplished, but about the privilege they had of getting a Harvard education, and they now are sitting at the table, wherever they go in life. And it is their job to bring others to the table, others who do not have that privilege. Well, I sat with that for a long time, and I thought about the paradoxes in my own life, times I felt othered, not heard, judged, but I also realized that now I am in a privileged place. At this time in my life, where I live, I realized it is my job to bring others to the table, to speak for those who are not heard. Today, I will share a little bit of that story with you in hopes that it will inspire you to see in your life where you have understood the position of non-inclusive, as well as to see how your agency, privilege, can bring others to have a seat at the table. Through the lens of an artist, I tease out and I think about ideas about social justice. Some of you may know, I finished a video installation a few years back now, for which I am deeply grateful to Paula Esty from the PEG Center for Art and Activism, right here in town. She gave me the space to explore and come from a very personal angle and trusted me to share my voice. It was a moment for me to work through very personal work that gave me a deeper understanding of others. I realized through this work that I intrinsically understand the position of non-inclusive and am inherently concerned with social justice in working across differences. In my video and installation work, I asked the questions, who gets to define meaning and who doesn't? Who has the power and who doesn't? Who are the haves and the have-nots, the elite and the marginalized? Who is heard and who isn't? Who has agency and who doesn't? What are your choices? Do you have the freedom to make choices? Are you privileged or are you marginalized? Do you follow your inner truth outside cultural norms? And whose norms are these? What parts are self-chosen? What parts are imposed by others' expectations, agenda, and influence? I questioned my role as a woman and at the same time tried to fulfill traditional women's roles. I struggled, I rebelled, I conformed. Do we follow our crazy devotional inner calling? I suggest we are all thirsty for stories that the road less taken is worth taking. I learned as a child of an immigrant at a young age what most immigrants learn, money being the most important thing. Only once you have it do you have the luxury of exploring the arts, philosophy, etc. At least this was the view in my family. I became the engineer that my father demanded, but deep down I was the artist. One has agency over one's life when one is economically independent. I now realize I am part of the privileged class. I have agency, and I have the power to bring others to the table. Okay, so the generosity of our community is an essential ministry that supports the work of the church, both in Newburyport and beyond. Each week, 50% of the Sunday offerings, not designated as a pledge, goes to a partner organization engaged in important efforts to transform our world. This morning's offerings goes to support Every Shelter, a nonprofit organization designing shelter solutions for refugees. Their mission is to build a localized refugee-aid ecosystem centered around the needs, preferences, and aspirations of refugees. Every Shelter is based in Houston, Texas, with a new location in Kampala, Uganda. While the majority of their work is currently focused in Bidi Bidi and Nakivale refugee camps in Uganda, Every Shelter has done work all over the world, including Lebanon, Jordan, Syria, Turkey, Iraq, and Afghanistan. To give online, please use the link in your order of service or below the live stream. You can also make a contribution by text, and of course, you can always mail a check to the church as well. Thank you. The offering will now be gratefully received.
Far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind. There find the key to nature's harmony, in an architecture so entwined. Like the birds whose patterns grace the sky and carry all who join in love expanding, the message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings, in the oneness of everything. Peace is in the dance of trees who stir before the first breath of wind is yet perceived. Trust in the song becoming one with the dance, and all mysteries can be believed. Songs of lives long past that touch our own are written in the earth, ever giving. And now to maintain the harmony gives to our soul lives worth living, for the oneness of everything. Still we seek to find a truth that we might understand and reduce to terms defined. Vast and immeasurable time and space, also overwhelmingly designed. Oh, passing years, just might I know the faith that winters in the heart, to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing of the oneness of everything.
Well, welcome. Thank you for having us here. I'm really so moved by how many people are here. We've done this a few times, but the congregations have been much smaller, so very moved by how you come to gather together and mutuality and in loving service to each other. This first song in musical form, besides the recitation we did earlier, is from the first Guru, Guru Nanak. And it's very simple, 4 lines. We'll do it just a few times, but that first line, if you catch the sound, feel free to sing along once you've heard it a couple of times. And it talks about coming forward with your head in your hands. If you want to play the game of love, put your head in your hand. And what does that mean? It means we have to be egoless to be in love, to be in our heart. And all the ideas of good and bad and right and wrong, they disappear when we love fully, right? So that's essentially what this is encouraging us to, calling us to do.
Yeah, and the songs we sing are in the tradition we sing they're called shubids. That word shubid means the sound that cuts the ego. So it's meant to be a practice where you sing along with it. You sing with us on this. It's not us doing a performance. We're leading a group practice. So even if you don't know, just make the sound that you hear. You don't have to be perfect with your sound. You can just make what you hear and sing along. And it's a sacred language that we're singing in. So just the sound current itself, the vibration of those sounds has an effect on you, whether you know the meaning of the words or not. Always good to check the banjo.
Honey, let's just play. Okay. Joto prem kelene ka chao. Joto prem kelene ka chao. Siddhara tali gali meri hao. Siddhara tali gali meri hao. Joto prem kelana ka chao. Joto prem kelana ka chao. Joto prem kelana ka chao. Itamara kapara darija sirdija. Itamara kapara darija sirdija. Kanan ki jai, kanan ki jai, siddhi jai, kanan ki jai. Here it is, the line. Joto prem kalana ka chao. Joto prem kalana ka chao. Siddhara tali gali meri hao. Siddhara tali gali meri hao. Joto prem kelana ka chao. Joto prem kelana ka chao. Joto prem kelana ka chao. And in your order of service, we're gonna go to the third one first and then come back to that middle one. So this next one, the translation is, I've totally forgotten my jealousy of others and in the company of the holy. No one is my enemy and no one a stranger. I get along with everyone. That's personally aspirational for me, but keep trying. Whatever God does, I accept that as good. This is the sublime wisdom. And the whatever God does, I accept that as good. That kind of refers back to that wondrous, where you might have been kind of a little bit caught by the language. Wondrous is separation. Wondrous is, being lost, wandering out in the wilderness. And one of my favorite lines from our scripture is, the Guru takes you away and the Guru brings you back. And so in our Dharma, or our path, we have no room to judge anyone else because it's all God's play. It's all Leela. And so there is no sense of when you put the head in the hand and the ego goes with it, there's no good or bad. There's no judging. You're just loving. You're just accepting what is. And the more we learn about how people make decisions and how the brain works, we understand that very little of it is intentionally good, bad. We're all just living and doing the best we can, yeah. So, and we're all in it together. So, we've forgotten our jealousy and we get along with everyone. बिसर गई सब तात पराई बिसर गई सब तात पराई जब ते साध संग तमोय पाई जब ते साध संग तमोय पाई ना को बैरी नहीं बेगाना ना को बैरी नहीं बेगाना सगल संग हमको Anahai Sagala Sangha Hamko Anahai Visaragai Sabatat Parai Visaragai Sabatat जब ते साध संग तमोय पाई जब ते साध संग तमोय पाई जो प्रभ कीनो सो भला जो प्रभ कीनो सो भला मानियो ए सुमत साधो दे पाई मानियो ए सुमत साधो दे पाई बिसर गई सब तात पराई बिसर गई Sabatat Padahi Jabate Sad Sangata Moy Pai Jabate Sad Sangata Moy Pai Sab Mera Rahia Sab Mera Rahia Prabhu Eka Peka Peka Nanaka Vigasai Prabhu Eka Peka Peka Nanaka Vigasai Bisaragahi Sabatat Padahi Bisaragahi Sabatat Padahi Jabate Sad Sangata Moy Pai Jabate Sad Sangata Moy Pai Nako Beri Nahi Begana. This is the See No Stranger line. Beri Nahi Begana. Hear the sound and make the sound. Beri Nahi Begana Nako 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 Beri Nahi Begana. And maybe take a moment to smile at your neighbor, see no stranger. This final Shabad we'll be sharing with you is called Tati Vau. And the hot winds do not touch the one who is under the protection of the Supreme Lord. On all sides I am surrounded by the Lord's circle of protection. Pain does not affect me, O siblings of destiny, which just means brothers and sisters. And we just got back from India a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if anybody here has ever been to Denver, Colorado, but it's like these beautiful mountains all around, and then you're kind of trapped in this hot box at the base of the mountains. And Amritsar, where the Golden Temple is a lot like that. And so it can be very hot, even though just a few kilometers away there's these beautiful mountains. And so I think this Shabbat is really about when we feel that hot wind, it can feel, I mean, you don't really feel it here very much close to the ocean, but so many places in the world are getting hotter, right? And so that sense of being protected from that by devotion and by being in the community of our neighbors, our siblings, is what this Shabbat inherently is about. So feeling that connection.
Can I add as
Yeah.
well? So, yeah, part of the Sikh tradition that really drew me in was this notion that through our practices, we can achieve a state of union with the divine here and now. We don't have to wait till we die to that to happen. It can be achieved, but it takes some work. It takes some dedicated practice to do that. And one of the techniques the Sikhs used for that practice is this singing, especially in a group setting. There's something about the voices as people rise up in their consciousness. Everyone you get pulled along by your fellow members, can help you rise up. You might notice it when you sing. You hear someone else's voice, and you're all of a sudden just pulled into this feeling of, I want to make a harmony with that. So that's all that process is happening, and it's kind of an unconscious thing. You can't think it out, really. It just has to happen. So we have to give our head over to the process, right? It's not an intellectual process. It's something else going on. And part of the Sikh tradition is that we can achieve that sense of unity with the divine here and now. And so don't wait and don't dawdle on that. And do your practice and one of the techniques that we use. And when that connection with the divine becomes really deep, then the sense of duality that we are experiencing commonly in this world right now, right here and now, the good and the bad, the hot and the cold, everything, all that will disappear. There will be, you might have heard T.S. Eliot's poem, The Still Point. He's talking about the exact same thing. There's a sense when you reach this very high level of union with the divine that nothing else matters. There's no sense of hot and cold or good or bad or anything. There's just this beautiful connection with the divine. And so that's what we try to achieve through our practice.
And the Shabbat goes on to say, I've been given the name, the medicine of the Nam, which is the name of the Lord. And so toward the end of the Shabbat, we'll be chanting together. I invite you, Ram Nam, Ram Ram, which is one name of many names of God.
Saranai
Ram Ram, 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 Ram.
Dati ho nalagay Parabrahm Saranay Parabrahm Saranay.
Really, we would just sit and breathe. So I'm going to reverse our prayers and invite us to sit and breathe for a minute or two together before we speak again.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary.
As we do each Sunday, I will share some joys and sorrows that have been either sent in advance or written in the journal. This morning, Amy Tockert asks that we light 2 candles, one of joy and one of sorrow. Her family right now is gathered in Lexington, Kentucky for her nephew Gardy's wedding, which brings joy, but also mixed emotions. Unfortunately, her mother suffered a serious fall the same week, resulting in multiple fractures in her arm and her face. Amy says that we are hoping that she'll have surgery in the next few days, and please keep positive energy for her mom. And I just want to lift up Amy's family and her mother, her mom in particular, because after we held her father's memorial service here, Her mom was so moved by our community and our beloved space and our energy that she allowed and afforded, if you will, gave us the money to have our vestibule painted over the summer. So she is with us, they are with us, and our community is everyone. Ken Kretsch asks that we light a candle of beloved memory and of sorrow as he learned this morning that his first wife, Florence, the mother of his children, died last night peacefully. She was 90 years old and at peace, and all of their children were able to say goodbye. We light another candle of concern and care. Hannah Berry writes, please send warm thoughts to my uncle, thank you, Jamie Creed, who lost his battle with lung cancer. We also light a candle of care and love. This morning, as we know, Dorothy Fairweather has moved into Spalding Rehabilitation Center, where she will be for quite a while. So keep sending love, keep sending prayers. My friends, before we move into our final candle, I invite us now to literally put our heads in our hands, open our hearts. The world is on fire. It needs peace. It needs love. It needs seeing no stranger and knowing each other as kin. And we light one final candle, as we do each week, for all of the sorrows and all of the joys that, although unspoken, are held in just as much love and care. Let's join our voices once again in Make Me a Sanctuary.
Open my heart to be a sanctuary, all made holy, loved and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Let's remain seated today, but join our voices before the postlude as we do each week in our unison benediction. We will leave the flame of our chalice lit, that the fire and the light may burn bright. Let's join our voices now. May the love which overcomes all differences, which heals all wounds, which puts to flight all fears, which reconciles all who are separated, be in us and among us now and always. My friends, as we prepare to move into our final shared Shabbat, our voices in prayer, in healing, in wisdom, may we always remember and know that the teacher is within, that we are one, and that when we forget that, we live in unnecessary pain. See no stranger. Look at each other with love. Remember yourself with love. And act with courage that we may transform this world. Amen.
Karata pura nibo niva kamurita Sebam Guru Prasad Japa Ad Sach Jugat Sach Happy Sach Nanak Hosi Be Sach Waheguru Gonkar. Just make the sound that you hear. Satinam Karta Puri Ibau Ivakamurita Ajuni Sebam Guru Prasad Japa Ad Sach Jugat Sach Abhi Sach Nanak Hosi Be Sach Vaheguru 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 Vaheguru. Vaheguru Ji ki fateh.
Or we could chant you out, whichever you prefer.